Hi everybody, welcome to the replay of week 11. I am Christine Hanks here with David Hall, owner of Cellercise. We are going to spend this day talking about my progress that went through last week. We've got a bunch of questions and answers that came through our Facebook pages that we're excited to answer and talk about. We've got some testimonies as well, and today we are going to be focusing on lymphatics and boosting our immune system. Does that sound okay for you?
That sounds great. It's one of my favorite topics. So.
Okay, so for those who have just joined us, we're grateful to have you with us. We're hoping that the sound system is clear today. Please give us a thumbs up or like this if the sound is good.
Thank you.
Tell us where you're from. Let's see who's with us. Hi, Melinda. Hi, Catherine. We're glad you're with us. Perfect. Glad that you can see and hear us. Hi, Angelia. Hi, Carol Ann. Welcome from Colorado. We've got Deb from New York. Hi, Vitor. We're glad you... Vitor, I have to hand it to you. The hour that he gets on to join us every Monday is amazing to me. Thank you for being so dedicated.
Vitor's been one of our greatest fans and greatest supporters. He's from Portugal, so it's nice to have him here.
Hi, Roxanne. Okay, thank you everybody for joining us. We're going to go ahead and get started, and thanks for everybody being here. We're going to go ahead and start with a few testimonials that have come across, and then we're going to be making a phone call.
Sounds great.
So go for it.
Christine, thank you. I want to thank everybody for joining us. I hope you've had a great week, and for those of you who haven't listened to us before, we're going to talk a little bit about some of the testimonials. We'll answer some questions that people have. If you have a question, feel free to post it. Christine is going to share a little bit about her experience and what we've been through this week. And then I'm going to do a little bit of a demonstration with regards to one of my favorite topics, and that's the immune system, lymphatic system, and how to improve that. So if you have anybody you'd like to make a phone call to, now's the time. Give them a call, tell them about us, have them join, and thank you for caring enough to share it with others. But we've got, this one comes from Wilma. Wilma says, I had another rebounder, called a Maximus, I guess, pro rebounder, and my knees and back were starting to hurt. My Cellerciser came today, and oh my land, what a difference. It is so much more sturdy, better quality, and so easy to jump on than the other one I had. The material is amazing. Thank you, Wilma. I agree. So David, I started exercising with my rebounder, and I can't thank you enough. All my body and lifestyle is changing. For me, doing physical exercise was hard because my knees hurt a lot, but not with my rebounder. Also, my bowel system is working as never before. Thanks, thanks, thanks. God bless you always. And of course, the gentle twisting motion, the second most important physical activity that I teach that we can do every day, actually is working all the smooth muscles. So the colon, the intestines, liver, kidney, spleen, gallbladder, pancreas, adrenals are all being massaged through the movement up and down and the gentle twisting. It also helps to loosen the lower back. And this one's from Kathy. Kathy says, I bought a Cellercise about 6 months ago before I had a cheap Walmart rebounder. I've noticed a lot of changes with my body. I am 50 years old and have suffered hormonal night sweats, and they have been pretty much diminished. My knees are way stronger and pain-free after certain activities that I do. My entire body feels toned and strong. I have never felt this way, and I have exercised quite regularly all my life. I would highly recommend a Cellerciser for anyone wanting to improve their health and body. And keep in mind, again, for those who are newer, the movement up and down on the Cellerciser is weight-bearing, not weight-lifting. So we don't limit the effect. The increase of weight is on every cell, every muscle, connective tissue, ligament, tendon, skin, even bones, over 100 times a minute through that movement up and down. Of course, it does a lot more than that. But so what questions do we have?
Okay. So did we want to make that phone call?
Yes,
really
let's do that.
Okay.
I
Kathy is with us actually online.
All
and Kathy had quite a struggle this last week and reached out and
Kathy,
hers was about knees. And so this is kind of goes in with what we did last week. And we've got her phone number. So Kathy, are you ready to go?
Kathy called me today, and I had just a beautiful experience. She called me at a point in the day which was really helpful because I've been dealing with our website issues and our Mr. Rebounder app and some other issues, which is all part of running a business. And I was a little frustrated. And then I get this phone call from Kathy. The timing couldn't have been more perfect. And she had some very kind words to say, but she also had an experience. Now, last week we worked on knees and how to build up the supporting muscles and ligaments around the knee. And that's one of our specialties. I love doing it. I love working with doctors and physical trainers on that. So I asked Kathy after she finished speaking, I said, would you be willing to share this with our Cellercise family? And she said, yes. I said, I've never done this before, but I'm going to make a phone call to you and have you speak. She's going to take a few minutes to share with us what her experience has been on the Cellerciser since injuring her knee. And she can tell you a little bit about the story. Thank you.
Hello?
Kathy?
I think you have the wrong number.
Oh, you're kidding. Did I call the wrong? Let me try again. My apologies.
No problem.
What did I call? Nope, that's what I wrote down.
Oh, no. It's
Oh,
610.
nope, that's not what I wrote down. Okay, can't read my own writing. Trying again, Kathy.
Thanks, everybody, for your patience.
Yeah. Fantastic. What did she say?
I think we got it.
Wait. Are you guys there?
We're
Are
here.
you there?
We're here,
Are
Kathy.
you there?
Can you?
Dave?
Yes.
Dave, don't dial it. I'm on.
Okay.
All right.
Wait.
You probably want to mute
Mute your background.
there you go.
Okay. I'm muted. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Just beautifully. So
Okay.
thank you for joining us, Kathy.
Okay, so
Thanks
tell
for
us your
doing
story.
this.
My pleasure.
I've been one of the biggest proponents of how do you get your knees strong. And I've been probably for 9 weeks saying, can you do some more information on knee strengthening? And week 10, I was on vacation and I totally missed it, which is what I needed. So anyhow, on Friday, I was walking off the beach and I took one step on a step and I collapsed. I lost all strength in that right knee. I've never had this happen before, and I was totally upset. Can you guys hear me? Because I don't.
Just fine.
I can just see you. Oh, okay. So I continued my walk to the pool, and I was in excruciating pain. We flew home on Saturday. I did the old ACE wrap. I iced the whole thing. I was walking around the airports with ACE bandages and ice on my knee the whole time. I really don't know what I looked like, but it was the way I got through. And got home to Philadelphia, and my Cellerciser was in the basement. And Saturday night I didn't go down, but Sunday morning I thought, I'm going to try this. I could not go down steps. I baby crawled down to the basement, and I bounced a little bit, and I was actually afraid. I thought, I don't know what I'm doing. I think I wrote you, David, right away and said I injured. You said, go look at the video. I'm trying to fast forward this whole thing. Anyhow,
You're fine.
Sunday, I met an orthopod. I'm an operating room nurse, so I can meet people. And an orthopod looked at my knee, and the bottom line was he didn't know really what was wrong from an x-ray, but he said I couldn't do anything to hurt it more unless I was in pain. And that was my light bulb. I went back to the video, and the last 10 minutes of week 10 is you improving your knees. And I think one of the biggest statements that you said was, and you had just healed your knees 2 or 2.5 years ago from an injury, a knee injury. And I thought, okay, if he could do it, I can do it. So I started bouncing, and I could actually, this morning, I could actually walk up and down steps very gingerly, but putting weight on my bad knee. I went to a different orthopod this afternoon. He's like, you have a medial meniscus tear, but we're not touching it because the changes have been dramatic in you in 48 hours. Yes. So keep doing what you're doing. We don't need an MRI. So I just came up from bouncing. I'm sorry I call it bouncing. But This has been a lifesaver. I'm not taking meds because I don't like them. I would if I had to, but it's really increasing. I can't talk to science, but I know I don't hurt. I can do steps. I'm not losing strength. It's been a miracle in 48 hours. That 72. I can't count. When's Friday?
Thank you, Kathy.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for creating this thing and doing these lives. They're not important unless you need them, and I needed them, and you guys were there, and you answered my calls. I mean, this is all wonderful. I'm done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Kathy.
Thanks, Kathy.
Bless you, and thank you for being part of the Cellercise family. Your influence will be helpful to a great many others. Thanks, Kathy.
Thanks. Bye,
You
guys.
bet.
Bye.
Love you. Bye.
Christine, you look beautiful.
Oh, thanks, Kathy.
All right. Okay, so
Okay.
the moving up and down on the Cellerciser creates a pumping action. So even if we're not putting or working with the knee, just by lifting our heels up and down, the calf muscle is flexing, and the movement helps to reduce the inflammation and increase circulation to promote the healing process. And there's lots of different approaches we can take to the knee with the Cellerciser. The DVD goes through a great deal of them, and there's additional movements that if you have any questions, feel free to give me a call.
Okay, perfect. We're going to ask a few questions here.
Thank you.
Can working out on a Cellerciser afterwards make you tired? I know we've kind of talked about this, but it really, some people I think feel the other way, but I think I've heard of a lot of people actually, I love Cellercising right before bed.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, in fact, I do too. Cellercising, movement up and down is going to open up circulation. The increase of circulation is going to help the body relax. When the body is tense and it's under stress or distress, then the lymphatic system and the circulatory systems aren't working as well, and we're not as comfortable, so we toss and turn. But we get on a Cellercise and we're moving up and down. I love to be able to do it before I go to bed. And if I have a hard time sleeping, if you just do the gentle movement up and down, see, Cellercise is not like typical exercise. The gentle moving up and down opens up circulation, the body relaxes. If you're hitting a hard surface, if you're tearing down to build up, you're building up inflammation, you're building up stress or tension in the body. Cellercise is releasing stress and tension in the body. It's a whole different dynamic.
Okay, so Vittor asked a couple questions. We're going to answer a few of them, then we'll get to the rest of them later. But this one I'm sure a lot of people have asked, how do you clean your Cellerciser? What is a great way to clean it?
Oh, just a spray bottle, some water, wipe it off. You can use soap on it if you want. It's pretty indestructible that way. I wouldn't put heavy chemicals on it. You don't need them anyway. But just water. That's what we use, water, towel. Soap if you need to.
Perfect. Okay, so my mom, who is 66 years old, does the Cellerciser every day too. She asked what the best exercises for urinary incontinence are.
We get that question a lot, and it's understanding the sphincter muscle that controls bladder. You know, they do Kegel methods, and Kegel is when you tighten, and that's great for toning the muscle. But how do you build up the muscle? Well, you have to put it under more weight, just like an arm if you were putting it under more weight. So on a Cellerciser, we tighten and then bounce. You bounce while you're tightening, because what it does is it's an isometric with an isotonic, and that helps to build strength in that whole lower abdominal region and through the sphincter muscle.
Okay. I notice you always slip off your shoes when you Cellercise. Do you advise against bouncing with shoes on? I always bounce barefoot in the mornings. But I would like a lot more, or would be more likely to bounce a few additional minutes here and there throughout the day if I didn't have to take my lace-up shoes on and off repeatedly.
Yeah, it depends on what kind of shoe it is and how much flexibility the shoe has. If the shoe is very rigid, and it also involves the kind of activity that you're doing on the Cellerciser. If all you're doing is moving up and down, of course, that's fine. If you're doing a little bit of jogging, that's okay. But when you start to do movements where the body and the foot needs to move to support your alignment, I say kick off your shoes. And because the foot is going to be far more flexible without being restricted by a shoe. And muscles and ligaments and bones can move to support your own natural alignment. So our foot becomes more flexible when it's not being restricted. And we've had all kinds of foot improvements. Shoes, depending on how they support your foot and how they move, can actually cause foot problems. So you want to just be careful with it. I prefer to be barefoot or in socks.
Okay. All right. I've been cellercising for 5 weeks now. Is 10 minutes a day really all you need? I enjoy it so much I feel like I could or should do more, but have limited myself to 10 minutes for the exercises and 4 other sessions of 2 minutes for health bouncing throughout the day. I'm happy to do just that, but I love it so much I feel like I could do more. Thanks.
And you're welcome to do more. One of the things to remember is that with Cellercise, it's not so much of the amount of time that matters as much is how the cells are challenged within the amount of time. So it's the intensity. If you want to turn up the intensity, you're going to have, the body's going to adapt to that faster. It's going to have to. If you want to just do it for a longer period of time because it's fun, you're having a great time, go ahead, do it. I mean, it's great. Drink lots of water because remember, every time you move up and down, your cells expand and contract. So if you got fat cells in there, which we all do, and they expand and contract, they can release toxins, poisons, heavy metals. You want to drink lots of water so they don't just go deposit somewhere else. So drinking lots of water is important with Cellercise.
Okay, so Mary asked on here about traveling with your Cellercise. Now, I know this was a question that was asked quite a bit online as well, and wished I had had a trifold. I know you can take the bifold, but the trifold is a lot easier to take.
Yes.
And tell us the weight limit of the trifold, and is it better to, most people just probably check it on, right?
Yeah.
Put a tag on it and check it?
Sure, that's what I do. I never leave home without it. And some people say, well, I usually don't take my Cellerciser with me. After you've become accustomed to Cellercise, especially in the morning, and how you feel, how you wake up, how it gets the lymphatic system going and makes you more alert and changes your blood chemistry, and when you understand it all, you don't want to wake up any other way. And so we've made it convenient to travel with the trifold Cellerciser. I don't generally take the balance bar with me because that's 10 additional pounds. So I take the balance bar out, I stick the unit in the carrying case, and I just take it with me. It's in the back of my car now. It's been on cruises. It's been on it used to be on airplanes before they made the compartment smaller. It's been all around the world. My unit again is 15 years old. I wouldn't want to imagine leaving home without it. And so it's, but I have it in the car without the balance bar. So it just makes it more convenient.
Okay. All right. Let's see. I believe I recall Dave stating rebounding is good for plantar fasciitis. However, it seems to bother me more after rebounding. I'm open to suggestions and advice.
Yeah, if you have plantar fasciitis or issues that already exist, you get on a Cellerciser, it's going to take time because those ligaments, those tendons are pulled, they're torn. And when you get on a Cellerciser and you're moving up and down, if they don't have flexibility, then you're going to feel it. So that's one of those times where if you had a soft-soled slipper or something to help add a little additional support while your foot is becoming more flexible over time, then it can help. My body has been through so much. I used to be a pole vaulter in high school. I was pretty good. About 15 feet up in the air, and sometimes I'd miss the pit, and then I'd land on the ground. Well, that kind of tore up the foot and the muscles and the knees. In fact, I've had the doctors, when they had to look at my knee injuries, they'd seen lesions where I'd torn them up in the past. I said, it doesn't surprise me. Been a pretty active guy. I've got a lot of mileage on the body. But none of it bothers me at all. And I know that that's because of this Cellerciser.
All right. Okay. Does the Jamba run get easier? My mind just won't let me do this but a few seconds at a time. Plus hoping my stomach muscles get stronger and flatter soon. Try to jump at least 15 minutes every morning. Anytime I watch television, I bounce and lean my head and core back. So the Jamba run. I also had another one come on here so we can do this in double fold. They want to see the Jamba run done from the side view so they can see how far you lean back and that sort of thing. So we're going to go ahead and do the Jamba run right here so you can see it.
Good, and good question. Now, it's mental. A lot of the Jamba run is mental. You know, we develop a love-hate relationship with it. We love it because it works. We hate it because it is probably one of the most intense aerobic exercises you'll ever do because it uses the biggest muscles of the body, and they have a great demand for fuel. So standing on the Cellerciser, your back is straight. You're bent at the knee. We don't lean forward, even though it makes it easier, because it takes the weight off the thigh. We want to keep the weight on the thighs, and it also strengthens the knees. And so with our feet flat, you can start off with the Jamba walk, which is fine, but the Jamba run, you're thinking more in terms of pushing down into the mat rather than lifting your feet up off the mat. And it's just like this. That's the Jamba run. And
I'm tired just watching.
It's intense.
It is intense.
But it works. It's very effective.
Can you do it too much?
The Jamba run? Well, yeah.
Some people don't want to overdo it, you know, so they don't want to hurt themselves. That was a question that just came across. They love doing it. They're doing everything they can to, you know, build themselves up. And so,
when you say, can you do it too much? Initially, you want to build up the supporting muscles and ligaments around the knees. Ultimately, you can do repetitions of it, and my daughter was doing repetitions of it almost 20 minutes a night for a month. She lost 10 pounds. I was doing repetitions of it for 10 seconds at a time all day long, demonstrating it at health shows, and for 2.5 days. And even though I wasn't doing it very much, it wasn't part of my normal routine at that point, I was demonstrating it, I dropped down to 3% body fat. That's not healthy. It was too much. My metabolism, and that's one thing about the Jamba run, is it can increase metabolic processes. My metabolism soared. And the doctors, when I went to them, I said, listen, I'm eating 2 dinners at night. I can't put on any weight. I can lose 8 to 10 pounds in a weekend. I think something's wrong. And they did a full physical on me. And many of you have heard me say this. They said, David, you're in great shape. You got the metabolism of a 19-year-old. And I said, well, that's just not normal. He said, that's just your body type. Don't worry about it. It wasn't the body type. It was doing too much of the Jamba run during the course of the day. I would do it. My metabolism would go up. Never had time to come down before I'd be doing it again. So my metabolism was so high in those weekends, demonstrating that I had to back off of it. And then it took about a month to get my rear end back. And my wife witnessed the whole thing. This thing is absolutely amazing. And I've never seen anything like the Jamba run. We've had women who've witnessed the testimonials about how they got rid of their cellulite in 2 and 3 weeks doing repetitions of the Jamba run for almost 20 minutes a night. That's intense. So can you do too much? It depends on what you mean by too much. Yeah, you can get your metabolism going too high. You can, when you're first starting off, it's mental. It's mostly mental. You're going to build up your knees first. The Jamba walk is the best thing to do. Give yourself time. Ligaments and tendons take longer to catch up to the muscles. So the muscles will get strong, but we want to get the ligaments and tendons strong too, because that's supporting your joints. And that's really important. So I hope that answers the question.
So was it just reducing the Jamba run that gave you your rear end back? I mean, you know, they
I backed off.
That. So just backing off.
I just
kind
backed
of allowed
off.
your body to come back to the way it was. Okay.
Yeah, because once you burn enough muscle or enough fat off, and there's nothing left to burn off, but you're still creating all this demand for fuel, well, then the body goes after the muscle. And the buttocks was, I guess, the easiest muscle to go. Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Alrighty. So Talia had posted a picture of you doing that big jump on
yeah.
And her thing was she can't wait till she hopes she can never do that. But her thing was she was very flexible when she was younger, and she's hoping to get that back. Is it come from just doing simple bouncing? Are there techniques that will allow you to get that flexibility and elasticity back?
It comes from the bouncing. Okay. You see, when you stretch, You're taking muscles and ligaments that may be a little tighter, and stretching, you're trying to loosen them up some or stretch them, have them become more flexible. Well, and you can tear them if you overstretch, and that doesn't feel good either. But when you cellercise, you're taking the same cell, the same tissue, and they're expanding and contracting. They're being massaged. And the movement up and down increases circulation and flexibility of all of those tissues automatically. So it's interesting because when I used to do more lectures, I'd have a person go down and touch their toes. And then I'd get them on the Cellerciser and work with them for a while. And then I'd have them touch their toes again. And they'd like, oh my goodness, look how much further I can go. Yeah, because the body's warmed up, the flexibility is increased. Now you can do Cellercise and then stretch. It's better to Cellercise first because you're warmed up. You've got more circulation. The body's more balanced. And if you're into yoga or martial arts, you're going to have a better experience Cellercising first because your body's in a different state. And you'll get better results and faster results as a result of that as well. But you can incorporate both and increase your flexibility even more. When I did that jump and touched my feet, I was 60 years old. And I honestly, I didn't know if I could do it. The photographer said, well, can you jump up and touch your toes? I'd done that in 1998, and it was featured on the front cover of a magazine. And I thought, well, I don't know. And so I went up and very tentatively tried to do it, and it looked weird, and landed again. I said, oh, that wasn't that hard. And then I did it again, and then I said, oh, hey, this is easy. And so I gained the confidence. I hadn't done it in, what? Almost
20 years?
25 years, yeah. So, or more. So, yes, it's been called, and I've said it before, the closest thing to the fountain of youth yet devised by man. I believe it.
Okay, when should you replace your mat? I don't think you should ever have to replace your mat.
You shouldn't have to replace your mat. If you do jumping jacks on the Cellerciser and you're landing too close to the edge over and over, that can wear a mat out. I've never had to replace a mat. The mat in fact, I've got a unit that's been outside in the sun, the rain, and the snow for 16 years. This last winter, I knocked off the snow. We put it on Facebook. My daughter was with me, knocked off the snow, and I jumped on it outside. It's fine. So it's designed to last, even in the elements. If it's down at the beach, you will probably get rust on it if you leave it outside, because there's corrosion, and there's salt, and salt creates the corrosion. You need to wash it off or hose it off occasionally. But even then, it's still built like a tank. So it's designed to last.
Okay, so this one asked on here, and I think I just lost it. Oh, her daughter got a huge thigh bruise from an activity that she was in. Will bouncing on the Cellercise help with the healing of that?
Oh, of course.
Thigh bruise. It just helps the circulation
Absolutely.
and getting things to drain.
Helps reduce the inflammation, improves. Even doctors know bones and muscles heal faster and grow stronger when exposed to some stress. That's the idea behind the walking cast. Well, when you're on a Cellerciser and you're moving up and down, you're activating the circulatory system, making it easier on the heart, breaking up blockages, helping reduce inflammation and increase circulation. It's moving fluid through the whole body.
Okay. And there's two more.
Sure.
I was wondering if you had know anyone with Rosacea. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if rebounding helped with it. I have been rebounding for just over a month, up to 30 minutes per day, and so far no change. If it does help, any idea on the time frame?
Yeah, good question. The Cellerciser improves the immune system. If often conditions like that, and again, you need to consult with a doctor on it. And I'm obligated to mention that when it deals with a particular medical condition. I know that yeast has played a big part and been misdiagnosed in people a lot. And that yeast can actually get into the skin and cause problems that have been given different names and titles. And as you kill the yeast, often the other issues kind of disappear. And we've seen that. When you get on a Cellercise, and we're going to talk about the immune system, and you build up the immune system, and it can take time, but, well, are we ready to talk about the immune system?
Let's do it.
Okay,
Yes.
all right.
You're into it, let's talk about it.
Before that, we're going to come to that in just a moment. Before that, though, tell us how you're doing.
I'm still doing good. I missed my
good.
Cellerciser all week, so when I take my next trip, I'm going to see about getting something checked in and take it with me because I'll be gone for like 8 days.
Okay.
And so both my husband and I use the Cellerciser, and we missed it. All we could say all week was, I can't wait to get home and jump. And I ended up with a sharp pain in the back half of my right leg, which always stresses me out, having a blood clotting disorder. And yesterday I was in quite a bit of pain, and I was not smart enough to get on it yesterday.
Yeah.
So this morning I got up and I just health bounced today, and I got through the day. I got off after 1 minute and the pain was literally gone. I do not know why. I tortured myself for an entire day and waited. So I'm super grateful. I'm super grateful for this, because living with a high pain level, it's nice to not have to add extra.
Yeah.
And I have noticed my fibro improving and changing a little bit and getting better. And so I am truly grateful for a disease that I've had since I was 12 that has kept me from doing things. And I actually feel functional. My kids have noticed it. They hear this a lot less from their mother than they used to. I'm just too tired. That's what they used to always hear from me. And now it's, what do you want to go do?
Yeah.
And so I'm excited for that. So I am doing better. This week is going to be so much better for me because we'll be back on it and feeling much better. I have lost weight. I've had people ask that. I'll even divulge. I've lost 15 pounds, which I think is pretty good in 2.5 months for somebody who has had to take it slow.
Yep.
I have watched what I'm eating, not all the time because I like food. But I have been more careful and more cautious for the majority of the time on what I'm putting in. I've noticed on the days that I think I need that little treat, how much worse I felt. Mm-hmm. So I'm grateful for the changes. So I can't thank you enough.
Good.
So
I'm glad. I'm happy for both of you. Thanks. Christine's husband's sitting over here, and he's been so helpful. And I want to acknowledge him and say thank you for your help. All right. I love this topic, the immune system. We live in a culture today where we're being exposed to all kinds of various different outside elements that are affecting our overall health. We can no longer really be or live in a reactive mode. We're being exposed to chemicals and preservatives and additives and herbicides and pesticides and electromagnetic fields, and all these various different things affect our body and our body chemistry as well. So I woke up this morning sick. I did. I knew it was coming on. My eyes, I could barely open them, and I said, oh my goodness, great. Everybody around me had been sick for weeks, and I'm like, oh, finally got me, and I get to give my presentation tonight with swollen eyes and a runny nose and feeling awful. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. It's not going to happen. And so I started to do exactly what I'm going to show you. I tell you, this thing is absolutely amazing. The immune system has an enormous potential. And if we take a proactive approach toward improving the ability of the immune system to do the job it already knows how to do, rather than a reactive approach to treating the illness itself, I believe we're going to reach a much greater health potential. So, the lymphatic system, it's designed to keep us alive and healthy. And for those of you who've seen my DVD, it's a circulatory system. It starts in the toes, the fingertips, and other extremities of the body. And the actual lymphatic system is made up of millions of one-way valves. And it holds a negative pressure. It's important to understand this because movement causes suction. And as we move up and down on a Cellerciser, the pressure changes cause the millions of one-way valves to start sucking like a vacuum system. Now, the lymphatic system doesn't have a heart to keep it circulating, so it is dependent upon those pressure changes to keep it moving. So as we're moving up and down, millions of one-way valves start sucking, and within a few minutes, we create a circuit of movement that's pulling circulation through the tissue spaces, the bones and joints, and vacuuming out the internal environment of the body. That's when I wake up in the morning. If I notice any puffiness around the eyes, and I get on the Cellerciser for about 3 to 5 minutes and look, the puffiness is gone, because the lymphatic system starts to pull that circulation and start to move it around through the body again. If you have a cold or an allergy, or you're stuffy in the head and you get on a Cellerciser and you start to move up and down, it starts to clear the head. And you may have a runny nose until you finish going through the healing process, but you'll feel better from jumping up and down on the Cellerciser. So I woke up this morning knowing through Dr. Arthur C. Guyton's book, Medical Physiology, and his research, that if I get on the Cellerciser and I run as fast as I can for 1 minute, I can increase the number of active white blood cells in my body by 10 to 15 times. And they'll stay there for up to 1 hour. That's like 1 minute for 1 hour of your own natural antibiotic. And so if you do it several times during the day, which I did, you're improving your immune system's ability proactively to go after and destroy the foreign invaders, whatever they may be. Viruses, germs, bacteria, fungus, dead cells, mutant cells, cancerous cells. We destroy them. And the immune system's job is to know how to do that. So getting on the Cellerciser, I'm going to kick
I'm glad you're going to show us how this is done.
Oh, yeah. We start off always with the gentle health bounce, the baby bounce. And this is moving circulation through the body. And then we're going to do this is what I do. Now, ligaments and tendons get stronger over time. So don't try what I do, especially initially. I don't know how many people could do it anyway. There are many of you can. I'm sure there's a whole lot of you that are in much better shape than I am. But what I do is I get on the Cellerciser, and I'll turn this to the side so I don't have the bar in front of me. Sorry about the static there, I'm sure.
They want to see this done just as much as I do.
Okay, so what I try to do is I compete with myself. I go for 1 full minute, and I'm not going to do that here. I'll demonstrate it, because after the minute I'm tired and I won't be able to talk for a few moments. But after 1 minute, I see how many times this leg can come down within that minute. And it's pretty fast. And I generally get to about, when I've been doing it regularly in good shape, I'm about 135. And you want to get your knees up high enough and run really, really fast. And when you're done, you're going to be huffing and puffing. And so you stand on it and you just gently move up and down while you're catching your breath and improving the circulation. Now, it's very intense. And when they did an x-ray, when I cracked my rib, I'm always doing something, they noticed that my lungs were quite long. And the nurse commented, "Boy, you've got long lungs." And I can only imagine it's probably because of this. And they said, "You've got a big heart, a strong heart too." I'm like, wow, it's got to be from the Cellercising. And you can see why this would do it. But it goes, get that out of the way, I don't want to hit it. But yeah, I'll let you hold that. Okay, so just, again, after you've warmed up, you're just going to, well, it's just run in place. So it's like this. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15, 16, 17, 20. And when you get toward the end, you're not going to be running as fast, but it kind of gives you an idea.
Good. Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else you want to add about the lymphatic system?
I'm sure there are things. And doing the twist every day, that's actually taking the colon, intestines, liver, kidney, gallbladder, the spleen,
all those internal organs that have lymph nodes around them. And it's helping to improve the lymphatic flow in that as well.
Okay. Alrighty. Okay. So as for my routine, should I just keep going and doing what I'm doing?
Yeah, we want to get you back at it. So health bounce, breathing in and out,
Right.
twist,
Right.
jogging in place. You're doing some resistance movements.
Yes.
That's the
Trying to get rid of what we call bat wings. So we're
good.
working on those.
Okay. And you can do it this way. You can do it this way as well.
Okay. I haven't tried it that way, so that's good.
Okay. Because, yeah, if you're pushing down and pulling up, you're going to be working right on the back of the arm.
Okay, and that's where I need to work the most. Okay.
Yeah, that tightens and tones that area.
Some Jamba run.
Absolutely.
And when I do the Jamba run, I've noticed I can actually do a full 20 seconds
Good.
from the first, and then it gets less and less as I go, but I will just lightly jog in between. Is that appropriate? Or even just health bounce?
Yes,
Okay.
that's exactly what we need to do. When you do the Jamba run, you're increasing metabolic processes as well as burning weight. So if you can do it several times during the day, you're going to have a higher metabolic rate. And that's good if you're wanting to lose weight.
Okay. And then I think the last one that I've been doing is you have me do the ski patrol.
Yes,
So
good.
starting
Okay.
the ski patrol. So just stay in that realm and get back up to par, and then we'll discuss it again.
Yep.
Okay.
That's good.
And well, actually, unfortunately, everybody, I'm sorry. I'll be out of town next Monday, so we're going to hold off not going live next Monday. Okay. We're going to wait and go into the following Monday. So we'll post that online as well. Anna, I just want to tell you, I have loved your comments online. And if your cute little 11-year-old daughter is with you still, hello, welcome from both of us. It has been fun to watch the comments today. Everybody, we cannot even begin to thank you for your loyalty, your support, your dedication, everything that helps make this such a fabulous product. It's not enough for you to say it and for me to say it, but when people like you come on and say, this has changed my life, absolutely makes a difference for all of us, and we cannot thank you enough.
That's true.
So we'll be going live in 2 weeks from today, and I apologize for the break in that. And if you found benefit in this, people who are struggling, please like, comment, share. Let's spread this word as far as we can in order to make a difference in so many people's lives that could possibly use it. Not just those of us that are already reaping the benefits. Is there anything else that you would like to add?
No, just what you said was fine.
Okay.
You want to reach out, because I turned down nearly half a dozen infomercials. They wanted the message, but they wanted to cheapen the product. They said they'd sell more. I said, it's not about how many we sell, it's about how many people we help. If you cheapen the product, it isn't going to work. Ask people right now that are using rebounders and they're not getting results. There's a reason for that. So the Cellerciser is designed to give you results. And we have a support team here. So if you know anybody, feel free to have them give me a call, or if they have any issues, if you have a doctor, health practitioner, chiropractor, and they have questions about it, I am happy to talk to them and share different approaches with them that might be appropriate for you. Thank you again for being part of the family. I want to thank Christine for being willing to have the courage to go through and put herself on the line and have you watch her go through the experiences that is helping her to reach her greater health potential too. So thank you, Christine.
Thank you. All right, we'll see you in 2 weeks. Thanks, everybody.
All right.